You're listening to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. Here are your hosts, Dave and Aaron. Sounds good. All right. Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. We're your podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I am Aaron. This is Dave.
Hey, what's up, friends?
Yeah, we're the two dope dudes. Welcome to our podcast. This is episode 14, which is awesome. Yeah, we're doing good. You can find us, all of our stuff on supportdopepeople.com, which is just launched.
supportdopepeople.com.
Yep, that's going to be, we're hoping to make that a site where we can support cool people in the community and allow them access to everybody else and support them. You can also find the Elevated News Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming and podcast apps. The Two Dope Dudes YouTube channel. Please give us a like and leave a review. This helps us reach more people. We also respond to all the comments on the podcast.
100%.
Yep.
Also, email
Yep.
us at twodopedudspodcast@gmail.com with all of your questions or things you would like us to talk about. We've actually been getting a little bit more of that now.
Yep. It's great. Love the interaction. Thank you.
It has been. I'm going to, real quick, please also check me out. Peace, Love, and Cope on YouTube. I stream live on Mondays and Thursdays. There might be a twist in this schedule soon. Thursdays are going to stay forever.
Yeah, that's for the homies night.
8 p.m. It's a lot of fun. It actually is. Even just to come in and joke for a little bit, come hang out, smoke a little bit, hang with your friends. But I also,
Valley.
Disc Golf Valley, Jackbox games, a little bit of fun all around. Also some cannabis talk. I do like to talk about that stuff still, but I appreciate y'all. Thanks for your support. We love you all. Let's get to the support part of this. All right.
Heck
We did have
yeah.
a few people that dropped a few comments on our most recent, Love Green Culture. Oh, Marky.
Yep, Marky's awesome.
Love Marky.
This is on the support dope people 5 questions with Tim Crackerseed. You can also find each week the dope person of the week on supportdopepeople.com, and they will always be listed there by week.
Tim, if you didn't listen to this thing, said that his main thing is that he would like to see if we could support him is to show up to the events and consume some weed.
Yeah, consume cannabis that he may have grown and tell him
that's it.
what you think of it.
Do you think it's good?
Yeah.
He literally just wants, I mean, it's like a free thing, you know?
Yeah, he didn't say come buy my weed. He said come smoke my
No,
weed
he
with
literally,
me.
there was no
Yeah.
sale. No, he didn't even try to. He said literally, I want you to come do this thing and tell me if my shit is good or not.
Yeah.
What a great guy, Tim.
He's awesome. He I think he does some autoflower breeding, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But yeah, he's super awesome. He's part of the Aurora Cannabis Club. You can find him at the Aurora Cannabis Club meetups.
Yeah, Marky here had to say this man right here has some great knowledge in the organic field. Great flower from this man, and all he wants is feedback. I feel him when he says that. I'll stop down at some of these events and
yeah, you have
give
to.
feedback.
Yeah. Come be part of the community is what he wants. He's awesome.
Yeah,
that dude.
1000%. Thank you, Tim.
Yep.
You are the man.
You're the man.
Canna Chris, our buddy, he said, wow, I really appreciate the kind words, you guys. And thanks for the shout out. Chris from
Crop Culture. Yeah, cropculture.net, I believe.
Yep.
October box is coming out here soon. I think I'm gonna snag one. And if you get the October box, I hear that there might be a supportdopepeople.com sticker in there.
Whoa!
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but
Yeah.
To our 10s and 20s of listeners,
Thank you all.
don't tell on me. Sorry, Chris.
Hopefully they come. Hopefully they come get it.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, get a Crop Culture box. Those are cool. I won one at the last thing, and it was super awesome. And Chris is awesome. and he's going to be a guest on Marky and I's podcast Wednesday.
Whoa, whoa. Oh,
Woot
God, I
woot.
can't wait to hear this. This is
Yeah,
going to be great.
it's gonna be awesome. And then One Dope Fox. Follow her on Instagram. One Dope Fox. What is each of your guys' favorite terp? Super excited to check out this normal event at Two Brothers, all for some local education. Speaking of that, Dave,
When is that?
that's
That
Thursday. Guess
Thursday.
what?
This Thursday.
Yes. It is a 1 hour event. Margot is hosting it. It's from 6:30 to 7:30.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And then at 7:30 starts the free comedy show. So I'm gonna go there
Oh, yeah.
for the I want to meet Margot.
Oh, yeah.
She seems like a good person to know. They have a bunch of podcasts listed on normal too. Maybe we should
Nice.
she can go talk to them. Anyway,
Yeah, so,
what is each of your guys' favorite terp? Dave, what's your favorite terpene?
oh, um, I got, okay, I mean, it's got to be beta carotene.
Yeah. Is that because of taste or because of
Effect.
effect?
It'll always be for
Okay.
effect. Flavor wise, I think if I'm not wrong, and I might be wrong, somebody's gonna hear me say this and be like, "You don't know shit." But I think it's osamine that gives that like kind of garlicky, gassy kind of thing. I kind of prefer that garlic slash gas, whatever. And I think it
Yeah,
might be osamine, and it
I
might
believe you're right.
be I don't know. Maybe terpinolene has a little bit to do with that, but I think that's more kind of turpentine and shit. But anyway,
Well,
um,
turpentine is like the piney floral
yeah,
herbal.
yeah,
It's also good for antifungal and sedation. And
facts.
like Ghost Train haze. A lot of the hazes is terpinolene dominant.
Bingo. Yep,
Yep.
yep. Um,
Check
beta
out
carotene
yeah.
by far because of its binding capabilities
Mm,
to the endocannabinoid system. It's very neat that one of the parts of the plant that isn't a direct cannabinoid is directly interacting with, and our CB2 receptors are stimulated and bound to by beta carotene. So, which is an
yep.
anti-inflammatory, which is when anybody ever says turmeric, they're always like, "Oh, you got to take turmeric with black pepper." Well, black pepper is beta
Yep.
carotene. It is an anti-inflammatory. So to put multiple anti-inflammatories together, a lot of people say, "Well, black pepper activates the turmeric or whatever." No, they just both synergistically are pretty good at reducing
Yeah.
inflammation.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm you know what, my favorite one is whichever one I'm smoking right now that makes me feel good. Or what
Yeah,
what Dave said.
yeah. Myrcene is really good too. I
Yeah,
think for a lot
myrcene.
of us, I
r-
would generally say myrcene
Myrcene.
is probably the most sought of all the terpenes
Yeah.
because it is mildly sedative,
Mhm.
and it kind of doesn't allow for the anxious response.
Right.
So a lot of people lean on it, and it's got that kind of orangey flavor and
Yep.
shit too. So it's
That's
beautiful.
typically one of the terpenes that we look for when we're looking at strains to grow.
Yeah.
Is myrcene and
And so like that's the thing
yeah.
too is like these
I would say
plants
myrcene is
survive.
probably is my favorite terp.
Yeah, I like I said, I think for a lot of people that's the
Yeah.
ticket, right? But
Yeah.
it just depends too, because like what environment you're growing in can mean a big thing. See, I don't know
True.
a ton about growing, but I generally understand the concept.
Yep.
Your environment plays way more of a factor in it than you might understand. Even so, just looking at, what bugs can exist in certain places
Mhm.
compared to which can't. Temperature means a big thing for, you know, uh,
Yeah.
everything. But,
Yeah.
um,
Especially a lot of it has to do with towards the end of life of flower, lower temps, you tend to get the more purpley stuff. Um, you know, or you can also like, there's lots of stuff that you can do. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But like
I just
you
know
just
that
there's an optimal that you want, really. There's a range.
if, and what I see a lot, this is where I was going with this whole
Hmm.
thought, was what we see a lot right now in the cannabis industry is a bunch of limonene getting
Hmm.
represented. Limonene tends to be pretty aphid resistant or something like that, or
Yeah.
aphids don't like that fucking
Yeah.
heavy citrusy limey thing, so it's easier to, or maybe it's mites, one of the 2 just super doesn't like it, so you guarantee it not having one set of bugs just pretty much by growing limonene, so a lot of, like, um, greenhouses and things or stuff without solid floors or whatever tend to grow something a little more limonene content, and because it's easier to grow under them standards,
Mhm.
we see a big wash of this stuff happening. Like,
Yeah.
if you go to Michigan,
Yep.
you will see a lot more limonene than
'Cause
you will
they grow
myrcene because
outdoors.
it's harder to keep myrcene
Yeah.
plants safe from bugs and shit than it
True.
is limonene. So, and they're growing in warehouses or whatever
Yeah.
with partial roofs and,
Yeah.
whatever they're doing, pole
Yeah.
barns even sometimes out there.
Oh,
They're the Wild West, but
they're doing some weird stuff out here too. You just gotta go west a little bit.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, do some.
down by where you hang out.
Hey,
You know.
hey.
Hey.
Yeah,
No.
well, hey,
Hey.
listen,
Yeah.
Brett, thanks for that question, actually.
Yeah.
I love, I could go on for days probably about terpenes, to be honest with you. I like terpinolene a lot and osamine a lot because they both have anti-cancerous properties. Um, I like linalool because generally it is, again, a sedative or a more relaxing of a thing in nature, but also just the laundry list of positives for all of these things outside of um, generally giving you a boost of energy or a sedative state. There's the antifungal and the antitumoral and it just the list of different capabilities amongst all of them makes it so that I love all of them equally in some regard, but beta carotene, by far the coolest.
Okay. Is that because 'cause it's got the menthol taste? That's a
Um,
joke.
it's yeah,
That's a
yeah,
joke.
yeah. You know me.
I know. Yeah. So, yeah, awesome. Love all the comments. It's super awesome. Uh, thanks, Marky Love. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, One Dope Fox. Check all of them out for sure.
Yeah.
All right, on to the news. On to the news. It's super it's a heavy news week, obviously.
Mm.
I think a lot of things are in flux right now just with there's a whole, there's still a lot of talk about the rescheduling, descheduling, and so people are waiting to make moves, I think. So it's a little bit uh, you know, light, but that's cool. We got we got stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's about to start ramping up here,
It
though.
is.
We're
It really
getting
is.
towards some
Yeah.
election year and stuff. There's
And
gonna be some good shit to talk about here
and
in the
cool
near
people are
future.
doing cool things in the space right now, and it's just, just wait. Just wait and see. It's going to be cool. So, our first story is RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, who's a 2024 presidential candidate. That's, I believe he's Bobby Kennedy's son. He's got some good ideas. I always say, don't let perfect become the enemy of good. And
Yes.
somebody smarter than me said that. I'm ripping that off, but I
Yes.
repeat that. And I think he has a lot of great ideas, and I think there's a lot of things he's much better on than a lot of the other people. And also, they're trying to silence him, so it seems. So that means he's probably doing something right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the machine is trying to silence him, so he's probably doing something right. So he says he's calling for federally legalizing marijuana, opening up banking services for the industry, and using cannabis tax revenue to fund drug treatment and rehab centers. Okay, that's good.
No, it's
Uh,
great. I'm all
yeah,
the way into it.
yeah,
The money getting used for productive things instead of for the bullshit that it is getting put into right now. I'm into it.
yeah. Uh,
Yep.
let's see here. So yeah, a Republican caller asked him on this on a C-SPAN uh, show called Washington Journal, and he's the son of former Attorney General Robert Kennedy and the nephew of President John F. Kennedy. Yeah, he wants to make federal legalization coupled with strategic use of tax revenue part of his campaign and part of his presidency. He said that he struggled with addiction to other substances for 15 years in his youth. and he reiterates his concerns about the proliferation of stimulants and mind-altering substances. But he also believes in personal freedoms, as we do, and considers the current policy of criminalizing and incarcerating people over drugs to be untenable. I thousand
Couldn't
million
agree
percent
more.
agree.
Yeah.
The war on drugs has been defeated by the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the war on drugs
Yeah.
for defeating the war on drugs.
Well, drugs, the winner
Drugs.
of war, the war
Yes.
on drugs.
Yes, drugs is the winner of the war on drugs.
Yeah, fucking, they still exist, and this is a dumbass thing. And do you know that there are still thousands and probably even tens of thousands of people who are incarcerated at this point that have cannabis charges?
Yeah, one of the news stories I saw today was that people are starting to get their certificates for the expungement
Nice.
of federal of simple marijuana possession, federal simple marijuana.
Yeah.
So if you were in the park in DC and you got caught with an eighth, you were arrested probably by the federal police.
Right.
But that's
Or-
still like that's just because it's an election year and that's part of Biden's restoring your freedoms, whatever.
I wonder if
bullshit
that
push.
goes into like national parks and shit too.
It might.
Like a national park, if
Right,
you
you
got
get-
fucking caught in a national
Do you know
park,
somebody who
would you
got? Do you know somebody who got caught in a national park one time?
I mean, no, I'm faster than everybody.
Okay,
bro.
cool.
I'll get
I'm just saying.
away.
Yeah, probably.
No, I just wonder if that you would be in a federal territory at that point, and then you would have
Probably.
a
Probably.
fed fucking
Yeah.
arrest you, and then you'd have a federal fucking
Yeah,
charge.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's so.
Weird.
But there was nobody in jail, despite
yeah,
the release of everybody who was in jail for federal
Yeah.
simple marijuana possession.
nobody was in
federal jail for
No,
that.
There's still fucking people sitting in jail right now
Yeah.
and the fucking weirdest
There's
part,
a dude
like,
who's like in jail for like another the rest of his life for selling or like having marijuana cookies in the South or something one time. You know
Ugh.
what I mean?
ugh.
Ridiculous ass bullshit.
Yeah,
Keep people out of jail. It's just whatever.
yeah,
Politics is for dorks.
yeah.
Yeah. Every time
No,
we
I-
start, we get into politics. We're like, nope, politics is for dorks.
Yeah, I don't. That's not.
Yeah.
It's all good. Hey, I
So-
called this though. I've fucking been saying for a long time. I think the next president is gonna run heavily, or somebody
So-
in this thing is gonna run heavily on
So,
cannabis.
since entering the presidential race in April, Kennedy has repeatedly promoted his comprehensive drug policy agenda, which he's previously said would also involve legalizing and taxing certain psychedelics. I've actually heard. I've followed this guy a little bit because he's been on some libertarian podcast. He was on Rogan. He was on libertarian Dave Smith's podcast, Part of the Problem, which is probably my favorite podcast. But yeah, he's a really interesting guy. I don't think anybody really has anything that's effective as far as like why they don't. I think he's better than most.
Awesome,
Hell yeah,
awesome.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew more to chime in about it.
I mean, he's the nephew of John F. Kennedy.
I didn't know him either.
Yeah, me either.
No.
But like this guy's like, yeah, the government killed my uncle and probably my dad too. Yeah, so like he's kind of out there too. Like he's real. You know what I mean? He's
Dang.
not like playing a politician. He's real.
What's this is completely off topic. What is fucking the other Kennedy, the bumbling one, the fucking big fluffy one that went running
Oh,
down
the
fucking Parliament that one time?
Parliament.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was probably another. That was
What is his name?
Bobby
man?
Kennedy.
It might be.
It was
might
another-
be. He's
yeah,
a big boy.
yeah, I know,
he
like
can
the-
bumble.
yeah. That was
Anyway.
that was their brother.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
you're right. He
yeah.
came running and yelling. Oh, how funny. I'm sorry.
That's all
My
right.
brain just went totally
That's
into seeing that
hilarious.
man barreling down the old floor, the old
That's
Senate
awesome.
floor. No, good on him. Honestly, somebody should be running on cannabis. There's so many of us that it
Yeah.
impacts and that it actually means something to, that like for this even to be a debate or an argument is ridiculous anymore.
Yeah.
Not just crazy.
I mean, don't tax it and don't regulate it like Illinois, but definitely decriminalize it. It's ridiculous. We can move on and actually have industry, marijuana industry. You know what I mean?
That would be
We
fire.
had automobile industry built America in a way. You know what I mean?
That should work.
You know what I mean? Like
This could help.
marijuana would really set us apart, and we could actually go back to like being a
Sufficient.
country, yeah, a country that's sufficient and not just engaged in the business of war, but actually producing something good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's good for the people and good for the world and wanted by people and wanted by people in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like there's with our technology and our, like agriculture, like we should just, like merge the two and just be the fucking the weed or the weed country.
The plug, dog.
Yeah, dude, we're
We're
the
gonna be
plug.
the plug.
Hey, USA, Trapper USA. Let's go. We're the trapper. We're the trapper.
Change all the
Yeah,
stars
change everything.
to fucking weed, little
Yeah.
weed plants,
Hell yeah.
man.
Hell yeah, man.
No, I'm okay with that. Honestly, since really the fucking railroad, which
Yep.
bonded fucking
Yep.
America from coast to coast, right? Like, what has there really been, right?
Well,
Like, I mean, the transportation thing has always kind of been big, and that's a backbone to it. But like, what has been something where everybody could show up to work and do the fucking thing and actually continue to thrive because there's such a demand for a product? And at this point, the at rate at which cannabis is consumed, it seems viable to be one of the, one of the alternatives, at least, to some of the dangerous things that are killing hundreds of thousands of our friends and family a
yep.
year.
1,000%.
You know, the
Also, all the uses for hemp fiber, clothing,
now you're taking it
paper,
to a
right?
whole
Like
nother
that's what I'm saying. Like we have
logic.
we have
Why
all
would
this,
you use that?
we have all this technology. We have all this like great agricultural farming knowledge. We have all this like,
Because
like
it
old
takes
knowledge. Yeah, because
30 fucking years to grow a tree and fucking 90 days to grow a cannabis plant.
yeah,
I think the math is pretty easy for all of us. I don't even care if you're like, math isn't my subject. I just was never good at
well,
it.
don't
We're
confuse
talking
me
about
with math.
30 fucking years to grow one tree or fucking 90 days to grow one plant
Well,
of cannabis.
here's the
And the
thing.
fibers that we can produce from the two are
Yeah.
rather fucking common when it comes to making something like a paper.
You know what the cool thing is? You can grow cannabis and trees right next to each other
Damn!
and do both.
Yeah.
Do both.
And actually, cannabis is a good mixed crop for
Yeah,
things, too.
it really is.
Like,
Yeah,
I know that
it's
it's
regenerative, or it
yeah,
can be.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know that fucking putting that in between cycles of other things
Yeah.
can make it so that the ground stays consistently fucking viable and you actually have growing soil. You can use the soil constantly. But yeah,
Look at you, like just all the knowledge. It's just
that's-
rubbing off on Dave. He's
that's
like,
because I fucking live out here in the cornfields
I
and
know.
shit. And I know 1 year it's corn and 1 year it's beans.
Yeah,
And I was
so
like, what the hell? Why is it always changing? And then I learned about that.
yeah,
Put the different
Yeah.
things in the ground. You know.
yeah. We both grew up in the
pretty
cornfield. I
funny.
literally grew up in the corn. One side of the road, like the subdivision, was corn. The
Yeah.
other side was the Fox River.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice,
Like, and it's just
nice.
one road in,
My
one
soul.
road in, dead end. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
literally on
feels
one
good.
side. Yeah, no, I know.
Feels so good.
Used to ride the 3-wheeler in the cornfields and yeah, go down the river and fish, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yep, I love it.
Fun times, nice and quiet. Yeah. So good for them. Good for him. Check him out. That's good. More than Biden's doing, I think. Speaking of Biden, Hunter Biden indicted on gun charges. Now, a Delaware grand jury charged the president's son with illegally owning a gun as a drug user.
Ooh.
That's why I put that in there, because we have talked about
Ooh.
in Illinois how it if you are a medical card holder, it is pretty much impossible to purchase a gun. Even if you have a Ford card, you can get your Ford card. You can get
You
your
can
concealed
still
carry
buy
license.
private sale
That
until
is
they
up
fucking
right.
delete private sale at the beginning of the year. I
at
think,
the beginning
right?
of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with their registry that that's stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm pretty confused by it too.
check out the Gun Santa on YouTube. He'll explain it for you.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig that.
All right, cool. But
Um,
yeah, so it is it's kind of ridiculous until marijuana is federally legal. Uh
but
you you
was this man indicted for fucking weed, or I thought he had like crack or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it like super big? Like
Yeah.
it was like a fucked up. I'm trying to
Well,
sift through this thing.
I mean, whatever. It's
Well, I mean, oh yep, crack cocaine.
yeah, crack cocaine, but
There
like
it is. Jesus Christ.
yeah. So yeah, Hunter Biden wrote in his memoir that frequently used crack cocaine during the window of time frame referenced in the indictment. He apparently only had this gun for 11 days. He's a Colt Cobra revolver, whatever. Anyway,
Hey,
it's just
yeah.
it's you know what? I just put this here because Illinois is kind of ridiculous about that, and you know,
Yeah, no, we live in a very controversial state for this topic, and there was actually at the beginning I did hear a few people that were slightly harassed
yeah,
a little bit because people didn't understand the laws. But now that laws are better interpreted, at least at this point, um I would tell you generally up until what the beginning of the year looks like the laws are gonna bring, you've been pretty protected to be yourself and
yeah.
protect yourself and whatever. That's why they need to fucking schedule this
Yeah.
thing also.
Well, that's why they need
I
to
could give a
deschedule
flying
it.
a
Because
100%.
even at
If these
Schedule 3, well, I wonder if that'll still apply.
I I actually I don't know. That
Mm.
might be something we can look into.
Yeah, that's something I should
Not
look
bad.
into.
I yeah, I mean, that's, I wonder what fucking because you're still allowed to fucking take narcotics and
Uh,
opiates and
I mean,
benzodiazepines and shit and then go and
Adderall.
get your yeah,
Yeah,
Adderall,
Adderall.
whatever. You can go get your fucking you can go buy a gun with those, and those are Schedule 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm fucking intrigued, actually. We'll look into that. That's
Yeah.
neat. But yeah, this is weird and it sucks, and I think that you deserve the right if that's the means you prefer to protect yourself with, and I think you absolutely deserve that right. We live in a weird world and shit. I don't think we all have to be scared or nothing, but I also think if you are, that having proper training with something,
Yeah.
um,
Train regularly.
it doesn't matter, right? Like if we have to go get the licenses, we have to go to the fucking DMV every year, every couple of years to get our licenses renewed. It wasn't like I forgot how to fucking drive. You just want me to
Right.
keep buying licenses. So whatever, just make me buy your dumb fucking license, but allow me to do the fucking thing.
Well,
And
I
this is
mean, in
towing that
Illinois,
line of it might not be
yeah.
we might not be as protected
Well,
as we
Illinois, hopefully this will go to the Supreme Court, and that's what we're waiting on. That's why I think the Ninth Circuit is kind of just waiting until they have to actually submit their review, because once that happens, then it can go up to the Supreme Court. Uh, Illinois also passed that law not long ago. I think we talked about it on one of the podcasts that, or it was your show, that uh, now if you want to sue Illinois, you have to do it in either Chicago or Springfield.
Yep.
They're at the courts that
Yep.
are pro the government.
Yeah.
Like it's the state's courts. You're not gonna get a quote unquote fair
Yeah.
trial.
No, it ain't no.
You
No.
know, that's all like bought paid for by the Democratic machine in Illinois. So it's pretty weird. It's pretty invasive. And but I also understand there's states that like don't allow abortion, and people feel a certain way about that, and I completely understand it as well. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of states doing a lot of really really
Wow.
crazy shit, just
Wow.
infringing on people's
Completely personal
rights, which
rights,
is
yeah.
just ridiculous. And
But
that's what I'm against. I'm against, that.
it's always been, and I always refer it back to the seatbelt law, bro. I know what the fucking implications of me wearing a seatbelt is. If I don't wear a fucking
Yeah,
seatbelt,
my
and
dad doesn't wear a
then
seatbelt.
I understand. But I have a buddy who also fucking worked as a tow truck driver and has seen seatbelts do some nasty damage to people,
Yeah.
even to the point of the worst, right? So it fucks me up that they're allowed to charge you money, take time out of your day, force you to stop, and try to force other incriminations upon you because of a fucking seatbelt or something. Like, you know how to protect me better than I know how to protect me. And if I fuck this up, well, then Darwin wins. I don't understand why you have to charge money to somebody to do it. Anyway, jumping me off the deep end, but that's my point. I fucking hate this shit. You know better than me how to take care of me,
Yeah, no.
and you're gonna fucking enforce it by charging me fucking, I don't know. Fuck that. Tickets and shit. Fuck that.
So the what may be good, what may be good come out of this? The charges could tee up a fight over the Second Amendment. His lawyers previously told prosecutors that if he faced the charges leveled today, they would argue that the law banning drug users from possessing guns is unconstitutional under the Second Amendment. Chief Justice John Roberts' conservative Supreme Court majority has dramatically expanded Second Amendment rights in recent years, which Biden's legal team cited in communications with the Justice Department that Politico reviewed. So, yeah, that's factual. We're not trying to read any opinion stuff. We're not actually trying to give it. The
No.
only opinion we have is that liberty is the best, and it is the
Yeah.
best way forward.
Yeah.
And as a country, we should be focused on liberties and personal liberties and leaving
Fucking
people
right. Do you,
leaving.
boo boo?
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you ain't taking from me, do you?
Yeah. So
And hey, a lot of times I got shit to offer to you. Just
yeah.
fucking be cool, man. We can hang out. But yeah, fuck.
So yeah, and then there was a bunch of in this. Or you can go, you read this on Politico. I'm sure people have read this. We're just not trying to read the opinions within them. Just tell you what
Yeah.
the thing is. So that could be cool. It's I'm if we get that, if that's in federal court, that sets a precedent, and that's good for us. You know what I mean? Anybody who's a marijuana user and who enjoys shooting pistols or rifles for sport, you know what I mean, or
Sure.
using it for self protection as
Fucking
well.
right.
It's
Right. Whatever
it's
your purpose is,
completely
do you, boo boo.
it's completely
Just
good.
just don't point it at anybody.
Yeah.
And
Well,
don't be crazy.
you have to know you have to know, you know.
Hey, some people probably shouldn't do it. I know some people that just ain't into this shit. It's too loud, too crazy, too much fucking thought behind it. I'm cool, whatever. Do you,
Yeah.
boo boo? But
Yeah.
hey,
Know what's beyond. Know your gun. Know what's don't point it
yeah,
at anything you're not ready to fire and destroy. You know what I mean? Like know your yeah.
responsible anything,
Yeah, yeah.
right? There's as much responsible gun use as there is cannabis use. So
1,000.
yeah, I'm yeah, I know more about cannabis. I could fucking help
Yeah.
you with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
PortoPeople.com, you can find links to everybody.
Boom.
Yeah, check it out.
PortoPeople.com.
.com. Come on, Pete. Not really. There's no Pete. There's no Pete.
Yeah, we'll figure out another one. We'll get it
Yeah.
there. Come on, weed.
Yeah, come on, me.
Oh yeah. My
Come on.
pronouns preferred are I and me.
I and me. My preferred pronouns are ye and ha.
Yeehaw!
Jesus. Way to clip it. Anyway.
Yeah. Broke.
just gotta turn it down there. Yeah, so on to the bigger news. This is actually interesting news. I found this out yesterday. I was hanging out at a Homegrown Supply yesterday. They had a little like barbecue thing.
Nice.
And we were talking. Somebody's
Nice.
like, "Oh, did you hear about High Times? High Times got sold." And I was like, "Oh, no shit." So yeah, Lucy Scientific Discovery Incorporated, a Canadian psychotropic company, is acquiring iconic cannabis brand High Times intellectual property. That means they didn't buy like because I thought at first maybe it was like just a company buying like Ziff Davis Media who owned High Times or whatever like that. That's not High Times didn't get bought. No, High Times specifically has been purchased. Also included in this deal are existing licensing agreements for the brand High Times and the event Cannabis Cup, which also includes their respective domain names. However, this is not a full-on acquisition as High Times itself will retain cannabis production, sales, and retail. So, according to the terms of the agreement, Lucy will license the right to operate retail stores as well as manufacture and sell THC products in the U.S. back to High Times in return for a license fee of $1 million per year. This sum will increase to $2 million per year upon federal legalization. Also, Lucy will issue 19.9% of its outstanding stock to High Times and make semi-annual payments for the next 5 years based on EBITDA generated from the acquired IP. The transaction is expected to close within 2 weeks. Okay, that's a lot, but it sounds like there's some licensing agreements and they've got some plans for High Times, or High Times wanted to get rid of that and focus on uh, bean cultivation.
They
You know
have,
what I mean?
yeah. So through the times, also High Times themselves, the company, the people that operate the intellectual property of High Times right now operate tons of different things. They have
Right.
cultivation and stores and retail and whatever. They've got everything.
Yeah.
So they could literally rebrand themselves as anything in the fucking world, which we
Right.
literally do over here
Yeah.
commonly.
Yeah.
But they can sell out the right to the High Times thing, which is a recognizable brand.
Yeah.
Then they get the fucking
Everybody knows.
liquidation. They get the
Everybody knows about
money.
High Times.
Right.
Like,
And then the other company
yeah.
now gets to, instead of being fucking Lucy Scientific Discovery Incorporated, which
Right.
how many of you have fucking heard of that until we just jumbled it out? Now they're High Times.
Yeah.
And now everybody's like, I'll fucking buy whatever from High Times,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And I got a High
I
Times
know.
fucking spray ground sitting over my
Yep.
fucking back right
True
now.
story.
Yeah, I'm into there's High Times sitting on that fucking
There
shelf
is.
back
There
there.
is.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I've been a supporter of it. I've always thought High Times had some cool shit. They've been selling out for fucking
2000s.
years.
But yeah, we've been like looking at High Times since like the 90s.
Oh
off
my
and
God,
on, you know what I
that's
mean?
when
Like the
shit was
OG
super cool.
stuff.
Bro, they literally have fucking ads in these fucking things back behind me. I'll show them to you. Where you could call in and buy ecstasy.
Yeah. 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 It came in a big jug.
Yeah, and a fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. 5
Fuck,
HTP.
get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. You used to
Get
be able
the
to do
fuck,
that stuff. It was
bro. That's what I'm saying,
you used to be able to get just jugs of stuff, dude.
bro. They were selling seeds and
Yeah.
fucking all
Really,
kinds of shit.
yeah.
They were fucking the advertising company
Yeah.
for some underground shit, but they were doing it right in fucking everybody's face. And fucking the war on drugs is going on, and High Times has got their middle finger in the fucking air, going, "Ha ha, bitch."
Yep.
And I love that.
They're like
There was
them.
something really cool about it. They were very anti fucking
Yeah.
culture and shit, you know? I like the fuck out of them. But they've been selling out for a long motherfucking
Now they're
time,
Canadian,
dude.
eh?
And hey,
Hey,
listen,
don't you
now,
know we're a High Times, eh?
right. So it just everything kind of loses its luster and allure.
Yeah.
That's like, you could buy the Cookies brand from any fucking state. Every state that has fucking cannabis around here, you can find Cookies in it, right?
Yeah.
Problem is the original shit that everybody
Yeah.
recognizes and knows all for being the best cookies fucking
Oh, yeah.
brands ever. Some one dude grew that shit really well, and then he sold all them cuttings to a bunch of bupkises who didn't know how to grow stuff necessarily as great.
Yeah.
And then fucking, I mean, you have to understand the de-evolution in all of these like cultivation. It's like get one really good guy, bring him
Yeah.
in, have him teach a bunch of people who want to learn how to grow
Yep.
and who are like, fuck yeah, I get to work in weed, which is cool. It's nothing bad, but you don't really know much. So you're learning on the job. You're fucking shit up like the rest of all of us would. And that's the person growing all of this
Yeah.
fire that we're consuming out of dispensaries. And it's not just
No.
because it's branded as a certain thing or just because it's whatever. But hey, Lucy
That's why.
Scientific, way
That's
to be
why
good
you
at it.
should grow your own. That way you can be in control of what goes in and out of your marijuana, and you can tailor it to what you like.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, show up to these events
Show
and
up
then
to these
try some
events.
things with some friends
Yeah.
because they go, hey, this is how I did it and this is what mine's like.
It's
And
the
you go,
best.
whoa, I like what yours is like. Let me teach me how you did that.
Yep.
Makes sense, doesn't
Makes
it?
sense.
Makes sense. I'm into this
Yeah.
shit. I
Yeah.
like it.
So Adam Levine, I'm gonna assume it's Levine. Adam Levine, CEO of High Times, expressed considerable enthusiasm over the transaction, especially the part involving Lucy stock being issued to High Times shareholders because he's a High Times shareholder.
Mm-hmm.
So as plant touching can't list on a U.S. exchange today, this was the only viable solution to provide true liquidity option to High Times shareholders. In other words, we got to make money. So yeah, so let's see. Yeah. In short term, High Times looks forward to launching new products and events across the globe but our long-term goal is and always has been to be the undisputed leader in the cannabis world. Okay, well, good for them. That's awesome. High Times 20. Ooh. So, have you ever been to a High Times retail dispensary?
I've
They've
been
got
to
8 of them apparently.
I've
That's
been
crazy.
no, I've been to a High Times Cannabis Cup.
Yeah. How was that?
Back in the day, it was fucking great. I did it when Michigan was still fully medical and wasn't recreational yet. So I did it the year before they became recreational. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I actually had a fucking phenomenal time. I didn't even know what the fuck I was getting myself into. I just worked in the cannabis industry. Some people invited me. I said, fuck it, I'll show up. Went up, spent the night up there, 2-day event, fucking just went hard. I didn't know it was like fucking Atmosphere was there, George Clinton was there,
Ooh.
fucking
I think
50 Cent, fucking there it was like a bunch of like wilder, older fucking shit I didn't even know. I think fucking Wu-Tang might even been
oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, fucking I was smoking in a tent, fucking Red Man and Method Man were fucking sitting right over there in the corner.
Dude.
It was fire. Like everybody was just calm as fuck. It was great. But then I heard the next year that fucking the line to get in was so long that they had 3 people pass out in the line waiting to get inside the fucking.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not like into that super packed shit.
Yeah, I like the more low key stuff. I think
Yeah.
there's gonna be some low key stuff coming out. I saw Charlie today.
Nice.
They got the spot opening up soon. They got like a field that's like 3 to 5 acres. So events will be going on down there probably next year.
Nice.
And then they got like a little glass shop, grow shop, and upstairs maybe popping up dab bars with
Nice.
Bob's own Bob's Exotics.
Nice.
Oh
Very
yeah,
cool.
I love all those people.
Very cool.
Yeah, community's doing good things. It's September, stuff's starting to wind down.
It's gonna be easier to not have to be outside and start getting back in with all the homies.
Well, we don't stop disc golfing.
I will never.
Dave and I, especially in the winter, disc golf multiple times a
Oh,
week.
I'll be disc golf.
Disc golfing.
You
Yeah,
should do it. It's good for your health and your mind. Well, your mind is your health. But hey, it's good for all of you. And
yeah,
it's good for me. If you go, hey, I'm not good at that, nobody's good at anything when they first started. But a little bit of effort and some actual, invested time, I promise you're going to love it.
yeah. I think maybe next year, spring, we should do a disc golf meetup. We should do a disc golf podcast meetup. That'll be fun.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm into
We
that.
got a lot of disc golf stuff coming up, don't we? We were both at a tournament this week, and that was super fun. I got the caddy for
Super
one dope
fire.
box.
Super
She
fire.
did great in her first tournament.
Me
Won a
too.
bunch of raffle stuff. That was cool. Shout
Yeah.
out to I got to interview Sheila, Queen of the Canyons,
Woo woo.
and Amy Laskowski. I think I'm saying that. I'm probably butchering that. I'm so sorry. Amy Lakowski. I got to interview both of them. They're great people, and look for them upcoming on Dope People of the Week. It was
Fire.
super cool, super
I
fun.
had a great weekend too.
Yeah.
I've been
You've been walking on sunshine, my friend.
I'm walking on
Yeah,
sunshine.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
and don't it feel good?
yeah. Things are great, right? Life is
Bro,
beautiful.
I gotta stop singing, bro.
Nah. This guy's yeah.
Cut me off over here.
Oh yeah.
I feel good though. I'm happy. I hope you're happy out there. And if you're not, hit us up, man.
Yeah.
Let me help shine some light in your life, and let's fucking talk about how we can make things better together. I love y'all.
Yeah, and thank you for listening. Waking up and having comments on the stuff before I even get up is heartwarming. And thank you to the people who listen every week. You know who you are. We try not to get too high and get too off the rails, but yeah, y'all are the best. We love you.
Yeah, we
Peace.
don't do rails here either.
Yeah, no rails.
No rails. All
Yeah.
right.
Peace.
Bye.
Smoke weed every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.